Taiwan may not be a member of the United Nations and it may be exempt from numerous world bodies, but it is an integral and indispensable part of the world economy. The island nation is probably best known for its advanced semiconductor industry, but its companies churn out critical components that are used in industries all over the world. So, how did this country with a population of 23 million grow into a hub for innovation and technology? I'm Divya Gopalan, you're watching Connected on Taiwan Plus, and we are coming to you from Hsinchu City, Taiwan's science and tech hub, home of the headquarters of the Industrial Technology Research Institute. It is credited with setting Taiwan on its path to become a world leader in technology. So, what is the Industrial Technology Research Institute? Well, in a nutshell, ITRI is the country's largest applied research institution where new technologies are incubated. It is not a private company, nor is it entirely a government agency, and it is more than just another R&D lab. To understand more about the institution and the innovations taking place under its roof, I'm joined by its Senior Vice President, Stephen Su. Great to have you on Connected with us.
Thank you, Divya.
We really appreciate your time here. I want to start with a big picture look at ITRI. Firstly, how is ITRI making Taiwan or putting Taiwan on the international stage through its technology and its international partnerships?
ITRI, ITRI, is the largest applied technology research institute in Taiwan. We have, as of today, over 6,500 people. About 80% of those people are technology researchers. We are missioned to help Taiwan industry directly or indirectly collaborating with foreign companies or foreign research institute like ITRI. As many people know that TSMC was ITRI's a spin-off company, actually a second spin-off. As of today, ITRI has over 180 spin-off companies. Yeah, so with ITRI's roles in between academia and industry, we want to commercialize innovative technologies to help Taiwanese companies be competitive in the global landscape and also be an important partner to the global ecosystem, whether it's manufacturing driven or high tech or, for example, traditional industries. And we are set up with roughly about 50% of budget from the government and the other 50% of the budget from the industry that we have to earn from project collaboration. And as of ITRI's roles, we are very similar to AIST in Japan, from Harvard in Germany, CEA in France. However, all the foreign research institutes, sometimes we use the term RTO, Research Technology Organization, to describe ITRI and CEA from Harvard and AIST. We tend to have more patents than published papers, while the other research institutes in other countries, they bound with university a bit more. So there's more element to fundamental research, while ITRI is very focused on applied technology research domains.
Okay, really interesting. A lot of people, like you said, associate ITRI with TSMC and the semiconductor industry. So particularly, let's bring it to present day in the current shifting semiconductor environment and supply chain. What new global partnerships is ITRI looking at?
Again, ITRI is involved in almost every high-tech and traditional manufacturing sector in Taiwan. So semiconductor, although it's the largest segment within Taiwan, but for example, TSMC has a lot more resources in its core R&D, for example. So we tend to work hand in hand to complement what industry needs from us. So for example, what ITRI has been able to help semiconductor industry is that we help with metrology, measuring defects through advanced technology. And with different types of industry, again, one part is more market customer driven. The other part is that we have a top-down strategy in terms of looking ahead what Taiwan needs in 10 years, for example. So we have a 2035 technology strategy and roadmap within ITRI. Right. And with that blueprint, we also use the government funding and our self-funding to systematically develop these what we call foresight technology, working with industry, working with the universities in Taiwan and also overseas. And for that, for our top-down strategy, right now we separated by 4 domains and 1 common technology. So the 4 application domains include smart living, quality health, sustainable environment, resilient society, that is very new, only added in last 2 years, and the common technology we call intelligentization enabling technology. So that includes, for example, AI, semiconductor, communication, security, etc. Yeah.
Okay, I want to break all of that down further into our conversation.
Okay.
But before we go there, Southeast Asia is emerging as a pushing ahead with its semiconductor industries. Are you partnering up, or are you doing any joint initiatives in Southeast Asia?
We have set up an office in Thailand, Bangkok. And with that office, we are trying to help Taiwanese companies that have expanded to Southeast Asia and also co-work with a country from Southeast Asia. As you have mentioned, many Southeast Asian countries are thinking about resilient supply chain. And obviously, semiconductor is one of the key topics. For example, like India is in a strong pursuit of that, and there are other big or small countries, but as every opportunity comes along, we try to help like-minded allies, for example, in terms of the industry competitiveness. And we try to bridge the gap. We try to export the experience that we have gathered from Taiwan, for example, that we have a lot of experience in science park management. And we, at ITRI, try to bring that knowledge domain and try to localize with the country that need help. And at the end, we have to benefit both countries' industry development and for a win-win situation.
Right, and I believe you've just opened an office in the UK.
Yes.
Can you tell us about some of the partnerships and collaborations that you have in Europe and the UK at the moment?
Okay. Our first office in Europe was in Berlin more than 25 years ago. And so for many years that we have people stationed at our Berlin office servicing different countries in Europe.
Okay.
And after Brexit, UK became more aggressive, not only repatriating with the EU countries, but also seeking international collaborators. So through the last 5 years or so, that Taiwan has worked closely with UK in terms of advanced technology collaboration. And obviously, they look to Taiwan for assistance in, for example, semiconductor industry. But again, Taiwan would be beneficial if we work with UK on green energy, right, and also some of the advanced technology like quantum, cybersecurity, auto electronics, for example.
Okay. And you know, the whole world is now, AI has just taken over conversations
Yes,
across the
yes.
board, from consumer electronics to daily life to helping you do your work to much more advanced systems. And of course, semiconductors are a huge part of that. So you previously led the AI Application Strategy Office. Could you explain what that does? And I understand you're still working in that capacity.
Yes, yes.
Can you explain what that is trying to tackle, or what that looks like?
Yeah. We all know that AlphaGo started in 2016. And since then, the whole world has been trying to catch up with AI applications or the new AI technologies. So our president, Edwin Liu, when he joined ITRI in 2018, he set up this AI Applications Strategy Office. And the office function is to integrate all the ITRI labs and centers AI development in a platform so that people can communicate, can collaborate, and also we invite outside experts to join the office events at least once per quarter. And also we use the office function to realign or joint partnership between different labs.
Okay.
And we have evolved over the years. And right now within ITRI, we also have dedicated AI team to service different needs of labs. And as you have mentioned, AI is everywhere.
Yeah.
So within ITRI, there are some projects that are being developed by the domain experts from material, from energy, and they would have AI engineers to help them from their own labs and centers. But we also have centralized AI teams that could continue to develop the next generation application platform, for example, and use that to roll out to different ITRI labs and centers. So we have sort of like a multi approaches from the office.
And is this specifically for ITRI centers, but are you looking beyond that for what you're rolling out with your AI initiatives, for international partnerships or collaborations, or is it mainly for ITRI's use?
For both. So partially that organization is for within ITRI doing the alignment, but as AI is everywhere, and our new government has used the AI as part of the government new initiative. And so, for example, that within the next few months, Taiwan will set up roughly around 100 pilot lines for research institute like ITRI and plus 10 other research institute, smaller institutes, to help Taiwan manufacturers to learn AI applications in manufacturing pilot lines. And we do that for different industry, like machinery, like a chemical industry, textile industry. So this is a major initiative for us to help manufacturing companies, especially the small and medium-sized companies facing the changing world, including the increased tariffs, for example, and also ever changing the service model through AI. So for that 100 AI-enabled pilot lines, ITRI would be responsible for about half of them. Yeah.
It must be so hard to constantly have to stay one step ahead of everything.
Yes,
and I guess that's key to not only ITRI's survival, but also Taiwan's survival,
exactly,
or as
right.
a tech leader.
Yeah.
And it's that whole idea of just always staying one step ahead. How much of that is part of your ethos here?
The idea for ITRI is to help companies in advance. So by advancement, we are talking about at least 5 to 10 years before that idea can be applied in the marketplace, earning money, for example. And for things that are advanced, we talk about we doing the 10-year technology strategy and roadmap. We tend to be less certain about any particular field, especially the technology detail. So for that, we usually have different scenarios and accommodating different technology, for example. And we have limited resources, so at the end, we still have to do prioritization and use our resource to bet on a very selected few technology domains. But again, we cannot rely on one single direction because the future is ever changing. Yeah, thinking back in 2016, we would never, thought of AI has been such advanced.
Yeah, not the way,
this
not
year,
the way
right?
it is, in every part of our lives.
Yeah, so I remember Sam Altman in APAC 2 years ago. So this is back in 2023. He said everything we think about 2030 about AI will only be arriving sooner.
On that note, could you show us some of the innovations ITRI has in the pipeline that you're excited about?
Sure, yeah. Let's take a walk.
Go.
Yeah. All right. All right, let me take you to the first station.
Okay, great.
Yeah. We are at ITRI's showroom.
Okay.
In here, we feature the latest technology achievement. First of all, ITRI does not do a lot of drug development, but we research a lot. For example, medical devices,
right.
Medical carriers. So this is one example, is what we call dual phase hydrogel, that you can use the injection of this material into, for example, the joint.
Right.
And the natural property of this hydrogel is that under certain temperature, that it will stay as a liquid form. So it's easier for injection. But once it touches body heat or inside the body, let's say about 32 degrees Celsius, it will become gel form. If you do not have this hydrogel dual phase property, you could imagine that you probably have to cut open in order to put some medicine inside.
I see.
And by having this two-phase approach, you can inject it as a liquid. Once it gets into the body, it becomes a gel form.
Right.
Not moving around. The next one, as you know, that semiconductor industry is the biggest industry in Taiwan.
Right.
And TSMC, UMC are the leaders. However, ITRI continue to work with the peripheral complementary technologies in this field, and also working with global technology leaders.
Okay.
And with this type of what we call mosaic IC design, we are able to combine processors and memory in a very tight packaging structure. This is not simply the traditional packaging. It's actually at the wafer level. So when you are doing this fabrication, before cutting into different chips, we are bonding together memory and also processes. And by doing so, you could increase the data communication speed and also decrease the power consumption. And for this type of IC design, it received 2024 R&D 100 awards from the US side.
I see.
And the power consumption for doing this heterogeneous packaging could save more than 80% of the heat.
Right.
Yeah. So we have a
in
one-stop.
reality, this would all be microscopic when they.
Oh yes. Like this. This is the final product.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this structure, that you have different stack memory, CPU, GPU, and also DRAM. So think of it as a smart city. We are able to pack it together in a very planar structure that has everything that you need, computing power, memory space, in a very energy saving structure.
Okay, great.
Next, we also help traditional industry. In this case, we use a double-edge laser equipment that is able to weld these steel structures faster and also more uniformity. So you could imagine that a big semiconductor plant, like a panel factory, they would have these huge steel structures that will be able to conduct this type of laser-enabled technology to replace the traditional welding process.
So it's the process that is being replaced as opposed to...
Also the technology. We are not using torch to do the welding. We are using laser.
I see.
Yeah. So traditionally, this is a three-piece, what we call H-beam, or the steel beam.
Yeah.
And you have to hand weld with a torch for these red spots, right?
Yeah.
And by doing the laser, you can have very precise welding, and we use robotic arms instead of the human being. That could be laborious and that could be dangerous, and the uniformity will be dependent on the welder's expertise. So by shifting to robotic arms plus camera scanning, then we are able to perform the traditional welding replaced by the laser welding.
Okay, all right.
This one, we all have LCD panel being used up. For the glass on top of the LCD panel, we are able to use it and construct sort of like a nanoscale type of pores. You can think of it as a filter. Very small scale dimension filter that is able to filter out heavy metal from wasted water. So imagine going from glass of the LCD panel to filtering out wasted water and water treatment. And the material that we have filtered out, for example, there are certain metal that we use it for like a insole for shoes that has less odor, and also different, for example, you put it on the mouse pad, is antibacterial.
Okay.
Yeah, so for this nature. So we are doing circular economy, by innovation.
So eventually the touchscreen on my phone could end up in my insoles.
Oh yes,
right?
yes. We have that as a gift as well.
All right.
Yeah.
And just at the moment, what happens to all the LCD panels? What happens to this material at the moment? Is it being reused at the moment or not really? So this is a
small percentage is being reused. A lot of it has been shredded and treated as garbage. So we don't want that. Yeah.
All the examples you've shown me so far, and from what you are showcasing, they come from so many different fields and so many different types of industries. So can you explain what the benefit of having this multidisciplinary approach is?
I think going forward, all the innovation or creativity will have to come from different fields. And there's never a perfect solution, but putting people together that would actually optimize the solution or the impact of the solution. And so what ITRI does better than some of the global institutes is that most of the 6,500 researchers are co-located in Hsinchu. Over 90% of them are here. So we are able to, eat together, think together, invent together, and work together. And that sort of fosters the partnership atmosphere and also this competitiveness among different labs and centers.
So I want to pick up where you were talking about the strategy over the next 10 years and the ART 2035 roadmap. Several things that we can possibly predict in the future. And one of them, you talked about data centers, is the whole idea of green tech. I mean, how are you going to power all of this technology? What is ITRI doing in that direction?
For example, data center, we know that the computing power increases and resulting in, for example, power dissipation challenges, the energy or heat management. So within ITRI, we have different teams working on the chip level. For example, using vaporization to decrease the challenge from a temperature rise. And we have people working on the module level on the system level and also connecting with the power grid for the future. So going into the next 10 years, the AI application will continue to increase. The power of the computing will continue to make chip smaller, but also more heat generation. So the whole idea about energy and heat management, ITRI is helping the industry in many aspects.
And the other thing that, you know, as we head into 2035, that is already very apparent in Taiwan is the aging population and the low birth rate, which will pose problems for labor and labor shortages, which many other countries are facing right now. How is ITRI preparing for that, or what is ITRI doing to prepare for that kind of a future that also other countries can learn from?
Yeah. Within our 2035 technology strategy and roadmap, many of the application domains touch upon this issue of low birth, aging population. So in our smart living domains, you know, how do you help elders in the non-hospital environment? And that's many things that can be thought of, like wearing accessories, like AMR, roving cars. As machines become more automatic, we still need to keep the value of human being. So the value of human productivity could not be resolved with pure automation. So how can we design our system or invent our robots, machines to co-work and even co-create with the human being? That's what we call resilient society. And that's a bit longer out, but we think that we are not just trying to solve the labor shortage. We also try to inject human beings with more intelligence, such that their value of life can be even increased when facing low birth rate and aging society.
And as many companies here in Taiwan face a future where they're not going to have enough workers or engineers, technicians, or even support staff, how is ITRI preparing these companies, especially the ones that have been born out of ITRI?
Yeah. Before COVID, even before geopolitics issues, we have envisioned that for Taiwan industry to continue with the growth rate. For Taiwan, limited territory, limited resources, only 23 million population, we cannot do everything in Taiwan. Right. So the made in Taiwan concept has been evolving to made by Taiwan. So looking at it now, we have some pressure from US, for example, to move to US and even expanding to Japan, Europe in semiconductor because of the customer needs. Long-term wise, we think that it's good for Taiwan industry for sustainable management. And by moving out, they could tap into the worldwide talent a bit more, tap into different natural resources in different countries. So the concept evolved into made by Taiwan, by Taiwanese companies. But recently, we have taken it to one step further with the concept of made with Taiwan. Because when we move out, there are gonna be some scenarios that we have to JV with the different partners. We have to co-create, co-collaborate with different mode. So this made with Taiwan concept is sort of putting Taiwan as a critical partner in a global, what I call ecosystem plus supply chain, because Taiwan is better at supply chain in terms of manufacturing. So eco chain concept is what we try to envision for the future. And ITRI's roles in that helping Taiwan industry for becoming a better partner in the worldwide eco chain. We envision, for example, ITRI's overseas offices are taking slightly more roles in overseas. For example, it used to be our international offices, no R&D people, but we facilitate international collaboration between our global partners and also ITRI researchers and Taiwan companies. But nowadays, because our eco chain are moving out, for example, in Arizona and Texas of US, with our science park management experience, we are also collaborating with the local government, try to plan and execute better, for example, the industrial zone systems or infrastructure with the Taiwanese companies and also with local companies. We are also doing the same thing with Japan. Yeah.
So it seems that collaborations are the way forward, and you might have somewhat answered my final question to you. That might be your partial answer to it. But you know, ITRI's over 50 years old, and
52 this year.
52 this year, and half a century ago, when ITRI was first established, Taiwan was a very, very different place and a very, very different technology center. In fact, it was very nascent at that time, very, very much in its initial phases. You've also mentioned how, you know, companies, the big companies like TSMC, UMC, they all have their cutting-edge R&D centers now. So as ITRI evolves towards the end of this century, how do you see ITRI developing, or what does the future of ITRI look like?
Okay, I think that there are some aspects of technology development, and obviously we all agree that AI will continue, quantum will be new, and space, etc. But at the end, what ITRI will be able to help more for Taiwan industries and also for the global partnership will be connecting people with the shared goals for a better future. We always say that within ITRI, innovating for a better future is our motto. And at the end of the day, it's not the resources, it's not the company differences or the market size differences. At the end, it's the people that count. People is the only asset that would appreciate over the years. And as I mentioned, either for Taiwan companies, industries to continue to grow at certain pace, we cannot do it alone by ourselves. And for the same implication, the worldwide needs to have partner like Taiwan. So I mentioned the met with Taiwan principle. The other direction that we are advocating is also Taiwan can serve the world as a global talent hub, particularly in manufacturing. People used to come to the normal university for learning Mandarin, right?
Yeah.
I think in the future, we hope that people come to Taiwan to learn the language of manufacturing, of high-tech eco chain. In the past few years, Taiwan, with the ITRI's involvement, we have been helping South American countries and also Eastern European countries with talent incubation. We bring their people over to Taiwan, incubating or training with industrial domain technology, with the manufacturing practical learning. They go back to their home countries. They could either work for their home companies, home industry, or work with Taiwanese companies that going over there. So at the end, this global talent hub is not about bringing people to Taiwan and stay in Taiwan, but give them a choices of staying in Taiwan or going back to the key markets or their home countries. So we have been doing quite a few of that, along with technology development, etc. So that is what I see going into the future, that ITRI will play additional role besides advanced technology development.
Yeah, I love that. With so much talk about technology and Taiwan's position as a technology leader, it's great that ITRI still remains true to its core, that it's the people that count.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Stephen Su, Senior Vice President at ITRI. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.